Back to your channel. My name is Brad and SuperCoach Pro. Today we're doing a round 12 SuperCoach team preview. Now, we made one trade last night. I did tell you guys on my live what I brought in. An exciting player, actually. And I hate the team, but I love to watch the player. So, is what it is. But we brought in Curnowwww last night for a solid 81. You know, he had the Ilya matchup, which probably wasn't a great idea this week to bring him in, considering round 14 bye. Do I care? Probably not, because I need to bring in a pod to sort of shake my ranking, and hopefully it's the right way up. So Curno and the forward line there, and now this plan is a 2-week plan. So you're probably going to think, why are you bringing in another round 14 player? It's because I think I can cover him anyway by the following trades I'm going to do the week after. So yeah, look at my trades. Sweet's already out, so he came pretty much initially for Curno. Now Curno's fixture after his bye looks pretty good. He's got Essendon next week, and then his fixture opens up anyway. So even against Essendon, I think he'll play well. And look, he scored, I think, 3 goals the other night. I was listening to it on the radio, and I just think he's a good pod pick. Not many people are going to go there for a key forward, but I think he's the one. Also interested in Mackay and Jeremy Cameron, which are probably disgusting names to you guys, but I just love pod forwards, considering it's probably the year you can take a punt on any of these forwards from here on out, especially the high ceilings. They actually might be decent VC options that no one's really going to consider, especially the back end. You know, Curno's last 4 games, they're VC territory for me. So Curno's to play. Personally, I think he's value for that. Probably comes to 450 next week, and people probably look at him after his bye, but wanted to take a swing, and I did it 3 minutes before the game. So it's probably why I don't do too many Thursday videos, because I'm pretty last minute. And then at the moment, I've got Comben, because Comben I'm going to trade out next week anyway. So I'm like, well, what's the point waiting a week? I may as well trade him now on his bye. It makes more sense to do that. Now, Rao's the big one. Rao's got a 101 break even. I don't like paying up, because we've seen people in the comments and et cetera paying up for midfielders at 620, 640, and then not doing anything. But at 555, I think his value, the tackle rule, I think will help Rao. He plays Essendon at home. All the stars are on this pick. It's him or Jordan Dawson. Jordan Dawson gives me the better buy, but I think I want the 70k elsewhere in my upgrades. Like, that money is important, and hence the next player, Bytel. So if he's not named sub, I'll go there. If he's named sub, probably going to have to grab Sutherland. The issue is I want to make 2 trades next week. So if you're looking at this as a whole, I've got 135k. So I pretty much plan not to grab any rookies next week. Use the 135k on Sharp. And then maybe, I know it's a little bit early, but maybe Wilson. So Wilson and Sharp, let's say 800k, 935k, probably a bit more than that considering their break evens. I mean, Harley Reid's got a 50 break even, so I don't know what I expect. So I could go there as well and trade out those players, because I don't think any of them are really going to keep. Like Wilson, Sharp, Closey, all these players are going to go. So I'm not going to fall in love with these rookies and pretend to keep them all year. Like, if I need to trade them for a Tom Green and a Fisher, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. So pretty much what I'll do on top of that money is I'll do 2 trades next week, bring in Tom Green. Now, I know Tom Green's form hasn't been great, but I know why. So I might explain that in a separate video to my team, maybe preview, when I actually discuss bringing in Fisher and Green for 490 and 493 respectively. I just want to pick up players with the right money. So I'm not going to go all out and spend 600k on Dawson this week, I don't think, unless something changes my mind, because I don't know. I just feel like, how many times have you ever picked a player, go 600k, and it's actually paid off the first 2-3 weeks? It's just so rare, and Rao's just got the capability of going massive. And I think from here on out, like, there's not much points difference between Rao and Dawson. So the 135k on top of the 2 rookies next week is my play. And then let's say those mid-season players get picked next week. That's one game. Then the round 14 bye is when I probably need rookies. So if we get debut players on the round 14 bye, I'm highly likely to just pick them on for 1 game or 2 games, because if they get named next week, it's round 13. They won't be on their bubble, but I'm happy to pick those players, maybe like the Richmond boys, because our injuries are taking a toll. So I think they could play in a couple of weeks, and some of those other North Melbourne players and whatever could get a gig pretty quickly. So I'll do that. So it saves me not bringing in a rookie next week. I can go double up next week as well. And I think that is the plan. Now, VC and C is going automatically. So I'll just press optimize to get players on my field. And by trading comp in this week, it also means I'm fielding 21 players out of 22. So it means 3 of the worst scores will get dropped out of my system. It means I kind of make up for that round 14 too, because it might mean I have a big week this week and maybe a mediocre round 14, but maybe I get a huge enough gap to make a difference between the round 14 bye anyway. So going ahead, what would it do to my side? Now, round 14, I'm missing 1 primo, 2 primos, 3 primos, 4, 5, 6, 7 primos. But I plan on having another 2. I plan on having, so these 2 won't be here. So I plan on having Fisher. So I have 2 out in the forward line. Breville and Vital hopefully play by then. And then I have Green. So I've got no one missing in the ruck. No one missing in the midfield, 1 missing in the ruck, and maybe 1 in the back line. So I'm okay, just okay. So I'll miss 1 player, no players, 1 player. I'll miss 4 or 5 players regardless, but I think I'll have if I grab Green and Fish, I think I should be fine for that buy. But it just means I can't honestly bring in any more round 14 players. Anyway, so I think that's the side now. VC and C, I think I'm just going to take a punt with my gut feel. Tom Stewart, I mean, we saw what Ridley did. We saw what Ryan's done against Richmond. I'm going to back my gut on this one, despite me hating him and death riding him as a pick and going off about him in the chat every 5 minutes, him, Underwood, McIntosh and Piggott. I think I'm just going to ride that one out. VC, him, and then maybe, because I'm bringing in Rao, maybe just Captain Rao. Don't want to captain Gawn against Jacko and Darcy. Oliver, no point doing that. Took I don't trust, but what's his history against Essendon? I don't even care if Durham goes to him. But maybe it just means more tackles. Ooh, not bad. Not good at all for Rao. Why so poor? Interesting. Maybe that worries me off big time. If I do that, then I don't feel safe. Unless what's Ryan like? Or maybe a VC Ryan. He doesn't score well against them. And the other one is I could go Dacos or Bont, but I'm still torn. Gut feeling kind of says Bont, but 139 against Dogs. And what does Bont do against Collingwood? Collingwood barely have a midfield, so you think Bont's the safe bet, but is he the ceiling guy? So he scores well against them. Where are they playing? Playing at Marvel. What's his scores like at Marvel? 136, 110, 73, 125, 142, 135. I'm pretty sure Collingwood midfield is restrictive to opposition though, isn't it? I feel like Bulldogs are the same as well. Maybe I can see what everybody takes. Maybe I could almost see if everyone takes a Bont and a Dacos. But what weight of games do I have in my Arsenal to see what the par is, I suppose, is the next question. Luke Ryan at TIO in Darwin. Do I trust that? VC Ryan. I still feel like I want Stewart. I feel like Stewart's a make it or break it pick. Then I'll sort of get a gauge if, let's say Bont and Dacos only go 130. If Stewart goes 130, then I just take the 130. And if they both just go 120, then I can know what the pass mark is. Huge issue deciding like this, isn't it? Sarong against Melbourne. I didn't think of that actually. Sarong has been pretty consistent. And he hates Melbourne. Is it away game? TP. Where's TP? Is that Darwin? That is Darwin, idiot. Okay. Yeah, right, cool. Now I'm not sure at all. Do you play the safe bet? Man, I feel like I'm taking you guys on a wild ride here. Stewart, history against Richmond, and GMHBA. Let's have a look. Stewart. This has been a terrible starting pick this year. 115, 161. Wow. At the MCG. He hasn't played us at home, has he? What's his scores like at GMHBA? 105, 108, 84, 110. Is that all? Really? Highest score around is 134 for the year. That's the issue. Then I don't trust any of my C options if it goes sour. All right, what does it look like if I go Dacos? Because it's just Dacos and he racks up the pill. Bont can play forward. They won't play Dacos forward. He'll get the most midfield time, surely, with the outs they've got. Darcy Cameron probably wins the hitouts over English. So maybe Dacos VC. Sorry for the wild ride. Into C Rao. Let's just hope the Dacos one pays off tonight then. Maybe we just do Dacos and go with the crowd. But I really want to do Stewart. I'm still undecided. I wish the Geelong game was earlier. I don't know. In the comments, let me know what you guys think. But just on Jack Blytell as well, I've got the tabs up here for a reason, and I forgot to go there. So this season, this is fantasy scores: 194, 88, 154, and 79 in the VFL. Now, left wing, I assume that is left wing. Half back, yeah, right. So he's kind of played everywhere. The flanks and whatnot, centre, and then right wing. And disposal count's pretty good as well. 26, 25, 23, 21, 17, 27. So he's a good VFL player, but does that translate? Because you look at his Supercoach stats and you go into 2023, all been sub games or subbed in or subbed off. Forget which one's which now. So it's been activated as a sub. So 7 disposals. In limited game time, it's really hard to tell what he's actually like. At least he's 24. If he plays for the buys, he plays. But it's not so much that. Like Abs was saying, I don't really need his scores on field. It's actually I just need him for the cash generation purposes. Like if I pay 225 for a Sutherland, it hinders my next upgrades, and it means I have to use 3 trades to bring in 2 primos. Whereas if I use the cash, I can get 2 primos with no rookies next week. And if Blytell becomes a dead rookie, then so be it. But I plan to get like a 23rd primo in the mid and a 24th in the back line. And I'm looking at Rosie and Stephen May. Then up forward, I'm not sure who I'm looking at, but maybe someone like a Shai Bolton, a Toby Green potentially. Any of those cheap players around 400k, I can sort of do that instead of paying up for all these players and not having any money and having to pay up for Sutherland at 240 or 220, whatever he is. Does he make 100k before his buy? I'm not too sure. So you're trading him out for two things for 100k. 2 trades worth 100k? Probably not. Blytell, is he worth the downgrade for 100k? And the punt of him potentially playing? Probably, because then I won't target rookies for 2 weeks' time. So anyway, I've rambled way too much, and if you've tuned in to the end, I do appreciate it. Give a like, give a sub, whatnot, and I'll do a live stream Sunday night. So I don't know if you guys think it's an awful move. If Blytell's named sub, obviously I have to jump off and go McAuliffe or something stupid like that. But I don't even trust McAuliffe as a non-sub, considering Taranto will be back in a couple of weeks. So I can't even get a good Richmond gauge either. Like McIntosh could be sub, and McIntosh I'm not touching at 190k. He's 30 years old. He plays wing. He's been scoring 30s in full games, so I can't go there. I'd rather go McIntosh for 7 grand. Sorry, I'd rather go McCall for 7 grand more. So that's the trade since it's around. Look, if anything does change, I'll go to a YouTube short, but I've got to get ready for work and I've rambled way too long. So hopefully you guys have a good one. If you guys got any other suggestions, chuck them in the comments. Or if you guys got any trade plans you want me to go over, or DM me your team at Twitter. My Twitter handles, or X it is actually called now, Supercoach Pro 91. I think I've got to follow you back for the DM to work. So just let me know and I can look at your side there and see what I think. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next. Cheers.